Hey everyone, thank you for joining me here on Retro Geek Gaming, where we talk about stuff that's retro geek and gaming related. I had a video earlier, and I apologize for it. It was a good video. I thought recorded it quite well, and I thought I was quite articulate with it. Turns out that when it uploaded to YouTube, there was no video, there was no sound. Somehow, I guess the sound was off. So, if you watched it, I apologize. But basically, the video was just talking about, and I'll still have the article that I talked about in the description down below. But it was basically like a Tom's Guide article or something like that was talking about in 2024 we should expect, or the analyst at least is thinking that there might be a Switch 2 coming in 2024. And I kind of agreed with it, because, we're expecting a Nintendo Direct to come. Possibly September, because that's what they did last year. Maybe October, who knows. But by the end of the year, we should have another Nintendo Direct. And that's really going to tell what's going to happen. Because we don't know very many games that are coming out in 2023 for Switch. We know of none in 2024. We have the rumor, and I talked in this video about how we have the rumors of Metroid Prime 4, how it's still listed at Nintendo. It was given at the last stockholders meeting as a to-be-announced game. So it's still planning on coming, and then we have the rumored Kid Icarus, Star Fox, and Donkey Kong games. So if we add those into the mix, along with Metroid Prime 4 and Breath of the Wild 2, we know of 5 games. Maybe Advance Wars 1 and 2 if they decide to release it in 2023, if not by the end of this year. So we only know of maybe a handful of games. If there's another Mario, who knows? But we are going on almost 7 years. 2017, the Switch released. It had a good, stellar year, and it's had some pretty good releases come out along the years, Like, Blade 3, I'm going to play Bayonetta 3, I'm going to play Splatoon 3. Nothing wrong with the sequels that we're getting. But I'm just saying, we haven't... They're all sequels to games we've already known about. There hasn't been a Donkey Kong game other than the re-release of Tropical Freeze. There hasn't been a new Donkey Kong game on the Switch. There hasn't been a Star Fox on the Switch. And there hasn't been a Kid Icarus. Now, hopefully, the Star Fox and the Kid Icarus and the Donkey Kong, they're not remakes. They're not ports of older games. Hopefully, they're new, just like Metroid Prime. But if we get the fabled Metroid Prime trilogy or the Metroid Prime remake, if we get another Mario game, if we get who knows what else, F-Zero possibly. Nintendo has a plethora of old franchises they could pull from. And I just think that it's a good opportunity for them to sort of start, winding down. Because if those games are coming out, if we do get Donkey Kong, a Kid Icarus, a Star Fox, and Zelda and Metroid, that's a good year. Because if you throw out Advance Wars 1 and 2 and maybe some third-party stuff, you could essentially have a Nintendo game coming out every month for that whole year. Knock it out of the park, and then by, who knows, this time next year, let's say, you could just do a press conference that shows off the next Nintendo hardware, and we're moving on to the Switch 2, because I believe it's going to be a next-gen game, a next-gen hardware. I don't think it's going to be a revision, but who knows, it could be a revision, because we did get a new Nintendo 3DS, and we had all kinds of revisions for the 3DS. Who knows at this point? But I'm going to make this video half the length of what I did in the last one because I'm not showing the article, I'm not reading from it. But it is going to be in the description. I'm going to edit this video to have it out of the description. And I think that, I think it's time. And, I'm playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, loving it. I will play Splatoon 3, I'll play Bayonetta 3. A lot of games I'm looking forward to playing on my Switch. That being said, though, even I kind of feel like at this point it's time to move on to new hardware, you know? And it's time to just sort of embrace the next thing, because even with the 3DS still had plenty of life in it. I mean, you got to remember that in 2017, they announced Metroid Prime 4 and they announced Metroid Samus Returns. They were still talking about 3DS games. So, simply because you get a new Switch doesn't necessarily mean that the old one isn't still going to be supported. And if it's backwards compatible, there's definitely no reason. You know, the 3DS was backwards compatible to DS, so I don't think it's time for them to let go of that cartridge just yet. You know, they held on to the DS, they held on to the 3D to the DS and the 3DS cartridge size for a long time. I don't think the Switch cartridge is going to go anywhere. They just might make it to where it is, I don't know, maybe twice the size or whatever, able to hold more space somehow. I don't know what Nintendo's going to do, but I just wanted to make this response video to the old video. It's going to basically look the exact same, because I'm going to use the exact same thumbnail. I'm going to use the exact same, I'm going to try to keep the description relatively the same. It's just going to be this video. It's basically apologizing for the fact that there was no audio in that video. I do apologize. I would have just recorded it again on my computer if it weren't for the fact that my kids are still up and being loud. Because it's Friday. It's their weekend, so they're going to stay up. But hopefully I'll see you guys on Monday for some new topics. I just don't know what I'm going to talk about. We'll see what comes up over the weekend and what comes up on Monday. Maybe I'll skip it. But if I don't see you guys anytime soon, I hope that you do have a great weekend. And I'll talk to you next time. Have a good one.